protecting our children from the Romeo and Juliet effect, why parental disapproval can backfire, and what to do instead. Introduction: when love feels like rebellion. It's one of the oldest stories in the book, literally. A young couple falls in love, their families disapprove, and the tension only strengthens their bond. While Romeo and Juliet is a tragic tale from centuries past, its core theme is just as relevant today. When parents disapprove of a romantic relationship, their children may cling even tighter to it. This psychological phenomenon is known as the Romeo and Juliet effect. While it might sound poetic, for parents it can feel like a nightmare, watching your teen sink deeper into a relationship that seems ill-suited or even harmful, while your efforts to intervene only push them further away. But understanding this effect can empower parents. There are compassionate, psychologically informed strategies that can help you protect your child without making their partner look like a forbidden treasure. Let's take a deep dive into the science and explore 3 powerful strategies to nurture healthy romantic development in your teen. What is the Romeo and Juliet effect? Psychologists coined this term to describe a counterintuitive pattern. When parents or authority figures disapprove of a romantic relationship, young lovers often become even more devoted. The more resistance they face, the more fiercely they cling to each other. This intensification occurs because the relationship becomes an act of rebellion, a way to assert independence. It also taps into basic human psychology. When we're told we can't have something, we often want it more. This is known as reactance theory, developed by psychologist Jack Brem, which explains how people tend to resist restrictions on their freedoms by doubling down. In the context of teenagers, who are wired to seek autonomy and are still developing judgment and impulse control, this can turn a casual or questionable relationship into an intense emotional commitment. So what can parents do? Let's break it down. 1. Practice curiosity over control. Connection before correction isn't just a saying, it's a strategy. When you see your child entering a relationship you're unsure about, the natural instinct might be to forbid it. But the moment you tell them you can't see that person, you risk making the relationship feel more precious, more thrilling, and more worth defending. Instead, adopt a posture of curiosity. Why curiosity works. Curiosity sends a powerful message. I respect you. I want to understand you. This doesn't mean you approve of everything they do, but it allows space for dialogue, which is where influence actually happens. By asking, what draws you to them? How do they treat you when you're upset? What kind of future do you see with this person? You're helping your child reflect without shutting them down. These questions plant seeds of critical thinking, sometimes more effectively than direct warnings. The psychological insight. Teens are in a stage of identity formation, where they explore who they are in the context of relationships. A dismissive or authoritarian tone from a parent can be interpreted as a threat to that developing identity. But curiosity honors the fact that your teen is learning, experimenting, and trying to figure out what love means to them. Practical tip: use reflective listening. Say things like, so what I'm hearing is that you feel seen by this person, or you seem really excited when you talk about them. This shows you're listening, not just waiting to lecture. Outcome: your child is more likely to come to you before something goes wrong, rather than after it's escalated. 2. Don't turn the relationship into forbidden fruit. What we resist persists. If you make your child's romantic interest taboo, you give that relationship a sense of drama, excitement, and heroism. It becomes less about the actual connection and more about defying authority. This is particularly potent if the relationship is already facing stress or opposition, because now the couple has something to fight for. Why reactance makes rebellion stronger. Teenagers are neurologically wired to test limits. The prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making and risk assessment, is still developing well into a person's 20s. When a teen feels their autonomy is being crushed, their brain responds by reinforcing behaviors that reassert independence, even if those behaviors are risky or irrational. A better approach: set thoughtful boundaries. Instead of forbidding the relationship, invite it into the open where you can observe it. Say, we'd love to get to know your partner better. Why don't you invite them over for dinner? You can see each other, but let's talk about what that looks like so it doesn't interfere with school or family time. I want to support your independence and your safety at the same time. Let's work out what that balance could be. This diffuses the power of secrecy and lets you keep a pulse on the relationship's emotional tone, respect level, and overall health. The psychological insight. When a teen believes that love is under siege, it creates a strong us versus them narrative. Inviting the partner into your home helps you gather more data and gives your child less reason to hide. It also helps you model healthy relationships and observe subtle red flags. Outcome: you maintain influence without igniting the flame of rebellion. 3. Strengthen your connection with your child. The deeper the connection, the stronger the influence. Your greatest power as a parent lies in your relationship with your child. If they feel emotionally safe, respected, and heard, they are more likely to trust your opinions, even if they don't always agree with them. This means your investment in the relationship before they start dating is crucial. If your teen knows you're a steady presence in their life, they're more likely to turn to you when something goes wrong, or even before it does. How to build connection. Spend intentional time together doing something they enjoy, even if it's as simple as a coffee run or playing a game. Validate their feelings, even when they're messy or dramatic. It sounds like this really matters to you. It goes a long way. Avoid sarcasm and judgment when discussing sensitive topics. Teens are perceptive, and once they sense ridicule, they shut down. Share stories from your own teenage years to show that you understand emotional intensity and confusion. The psychological insight, emotional attunement, feeling understood and accepted enhances attachment and trust. According to attachment theory, when teens feel securely attached to their caregivers, they exhibit more self-regulation and better emotional boundaries in their relationships. This doesn't mean being a cool parent or always agreeing. It means being a consistent and warm presence, especially during emotionally turbulent times, when it's needed most. If the relationship does become harmful or manipulative, your teen is more likely to believe you, not because you were the loudest, but because you were the safest. Outcome: you create an anchor your child can return to, even after missteps. What if the relationship is toxic? Despite your best efforts, some relationships may become emotionally harmful or unsafe. In such cases, don't panic, but do take action. Use a calm and strategic approach. Document concerns. Track behavioral changes, signs of control or isolation, or sudden emotional volatility. Talk about healthy versus unhealthy patterns using examples from books, movies, or media. Offer help, not ultimatums. If you ever feel unsafe or unsure, I will support you. No questions asked. Engage a professional. A family therapist or school counselor can help your child reflect on their relationship in a neutral space. Most importantly, avoid saying, "I told you so." When teens exit a difficult relationship, they often feel shame or embarrassment. Your role is to offer reassurance, not judgment. Conclusion: a foundation that lasts beyond the teen years. The Romeo and Juliet effect may be timeless, but so is the power of compassionate, connected parenting. Rather than trying to control our children's hearts, we can guide them by cultivating mutual respect, open communication, and deep emotional safety. Your teen doesn't need a perfect parent. They need a present one who listens more than they lecture, one who stays calm when emotions run high, one who trusts that love, like all things, is something they will learn through both experience and guidance. By focusing on curiosity, connection, and non-reactive presence, you offer your child something no romance can replace, a safe place to return to, no matter how far they roam. If this article resonated with you, share it with a fellow parent or subscribe to our newsletter and YouTube channel for more insights on raising emotionally intelligent teens. Together, we can raise a generation that knows how to love wisely and well.